We tell stories at Milwaukee PBS. Here's one you may have missed.
Welcome to the Arts Page. I'm your host, Sandy Maxx, and this is Milwaukee's Linden Sculpture Garden. Over 50 monumental sculptures are on display here at the former home of Harry Bradley and his wife, Peg. Harry was a co-founder of the Allen Bradley Company, and Peg became an avid contemporary art collector in the 1960s and 1970s. Linden Sculpture Garden opened to the public in 2010. You can wander and discover the dozens of outdoor artworks and the natural ecology of their 40-acre site of park, lake, and woodlands. Next to Big Lake is the Bonsai Exhibit, a collection of over 30 bonsai curated by the Milwaukee Bonsai Foundation. The Milwaukee Bonsai Society shares with us the history and art behind these beautiful living sculptures.
Bonsai means tree and tray, so anytime you have a tree in a pot, officially it's a bonsai. Where people say, I have bonsai in my yard, unless they are in pots, that does not fit the definition.
The Milwaukee Bonsai Society was started around 1970. In fact, they're celebrating their 50th anniversary. It's probably one of the bigger, more active clubs in the Midwest. And none of this that you see here would be possible without their help. The Milwaukee Bonsai Foundation is an organization that was set up to create, own, and maintain a public bonsai collection here at Linden Sculpture Garden in Milwaukee. There are probably about 32 trees in the collection. As far as I know, it's the only public bonsai collection in the world that is in a dedicated art facility. Bonsai is an art form. It's a very, very old art form. It uses living trees as its media. It's creating the image of a large tree you would find growing in nature that in a pot that you can maintain in your own home. The earliest recorded history we have of the art form is about 800 AD. We think that the bonsai art itself started probably in China. When the landlords would travel around their property, they would see a tree that they liked, had some character. They would dig it up, put it in a pot, and put it in their garden. In about 1200 AD, the Chinese Buddhist priests were going to Japan, and they took their bonsai with them. And so that's where it got to start in Japan. So after World War II, when the GIs were there, and they began to see the bonsai, and that's when it started to become a worldwide hobby, if you will. You can use almost any tree for bonsai. Anything that has a woody trunk can be used as a bonsai.
What we like in bonsai, we like to have a tree that looks like a big old gnarly tree with character. And as I get older, I appreciate that more and more.
The most common question is it real? So they look at them and they say, you know, how can that be real? It's so small compared to the trees that you see out in nature. If it's a regular tree, if you planted this in the ground, it would become a large tree after some time. They stay small because we keep them in pots and we trim the roots and trim the top, and that keeps them small. And that allows them to get a very large trunk while staying small.
Part of the art form and part of the knowledge is figuring out how you can get that tree at the size you want it to look like an actual tree. So when somebody sees it, they say, oh yeah, that's a tree, instead of that's a stump with a couple of leaves on it.
You work with the tree. You take what the tree gives you, and you look at the shape and you decide sort of what direction you'd like to go in. The next thing you would do would be to remove any dead tree material. There's dead leaves, dead branches, and you have to decide where in that mass is the art that you want to bring out. You would trim it, and then you would wire it, and you wire it to whatever shape that you want it in.
We use some specialized tools as far as cutting goes. We use some concave cutters to help heal wounds faster. The Japanese specific tools, they're really made especially for minimizing the damage to the tree when you use them. So that's what we prefer, to use whenever we can.
We use wire as a training device. We use wire like a doctor uses a cast. We wrap it around a branch, and we can move the branch and move it around a little bit, twist it, turn it, take it up and down. And as the branch grows, it puts on more wood, and then it will hold that position when we take the wire off.
And this is always the interesting part, when you put the wire on and then you go to bend the branch, and you hope that you don't hear a loud cracking sound, which tells you that you made a big mistake somewhere. But it is really quite surprising the extent to which a properly wired branch can be manipulated and moved.
If I were to show this, I would need to clean up a lot of the foliage. You'd like to see definite layers in here. And we have some of our bonsai artists who say that we would like to see this open so a bird can fly through it, rather than just having it look like a big old shrub.
What do I need to do to this tree now to get it to that vision at the end? And that might be 3, 4, 5 years down the road. So even the most seasoned bonsai artists and the most experienced have the same outlook. This is what I want the tree to look like right now. Next year, 2 years down the road, it may change.
It's a living sculpture. Bonsai is a living sculpture, so it's never really done. And you want to maintain it. If you want to keep the size the same, then you have to prune it. You will repot it every few years.
Trees can only take so much work that you do on them at one time. You can't pot a tree and trim a tree too much all at once, otherwise the tree might not live. It's not something that you're going to finish in a day. This is a long-term adventure.
We make a cut today, hoping that tomorrow it will do something and it will grow into the shape that we want it to grow into. Bonsai artists are always working with the future.
Watch the Arts page on Milwaukee PBS and watch online at milwaukeepbs.org.